All right, guys. Welcome to the stream. Going to get started in just a few moments, just getting everything together. Hey, what's going on? Drake's nephew. All right. Okay, we got everything set up here. Just checking all my stuff, making sure it's going through properly. All right, there we go. Everything is a go. So, what's good, everyone? All right, welcome to the stream. Y'all already know how we get down around here. This is a reaction channel. So, we're going to be doing. Let me know if the mic's cutting out a bit because I think my headphones are tripping, but it just might be me. But yeah, we're about to get into this, get some reactions in. Remember, random reactions. I'm just going to be going through, checking stuff out, and then random reaction requests. So if you have a video you want me to check out, put it in there. Make sure it has to be something that's not owned by Hollywood or UMG or something like that. Something that I can actually react to. That's on YouTube. That's not like a concert or music or something like that because, yeah, they are really cracking down on that right now. But fun videos, independent music, interesting stuff. But anyway, we're about to jump into this. So the first thing we're going to get into is some Neil deGrasse Tyson. All right, so where's my webcam display? Where am I at? Where am I at? There I am. All right, so we're about to check this out. So this video is apparently going to be about AI. It says it's getting harder to know what's real. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. See what Neil has to say about this one. Let's get into this. Let's go.
Lately, I've been doing calculations, as well as looking back at old NASA footage and raw data from satellites hovering above Earth. And I just can't escape the conclusion that the Earth might actually be flat.
Oh
That's
man.
not me. It was never me. Those aren't my words. That's what's called a deep fake. What is a deep fake?
So a deepfake, the shortest definition I can come up with is synthetic or manipulated media, and by media I mean video, audio,
Spaghetti.
or images, which is generated with AI, artificial intelligence, to make people appear to say or do things that never actually happened in reality.
Today, we're interviewing an Andromedan.
My apologies. This form takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
The term deepfake comes
that one was kind of funny. Like the whole thing is scary, but when you see the silly videos, it makes you laugh. That might be the problem, though. Maybe we're letting the silly videos kind of like ruin our perception of what's really happening here. Because I've been seeing a lot of silly AI videos, and I'd be over here binge watching them sometimes. They're hilarious.
from the deep learning, which is the type of neural networks that are used to generate this type of content. And fake is a fake. Hence, deep fake means definitely generated with AI.
So, Alex, you mentioned deep learning. Could you catch us up on that?
It all starts to breaking it down to the human brain, and basically we're looking at neurons. In AI, a neuron is called a perceptron. And this has multiple inputs, a single output. Each input has an associated weight. And if all the inputs multiplied by the associated weights is higher than a threshold, it will fire an electric signal. So this is like the basic concept simulated from the organic matter, from the neuron. In order to train this neuron to do something, you're going to show him what the output should be, and it will adjust the weights so it fires at the right time. Now, this is just a single dot. Then you can expand to a neural network where you have multiple neurons, multiple inputs, multiple outputs, and so on. Now, a deep neural network means multiple layers of this list of neurons. So when you call the term deep learning, it means deep because there's a lot of depth to train. And usually the amounts of data we're talking about terabytes of data. So that's why it's a huge network. It's a lot of training to do, so that's why it's called deep learning.
I didn't think much about deep fakes until...
Well, hang on. Interesting. I thought deepfake meant something different, like, this a very detailed, copy or a fake of somebody. But I like the way the explanation. So this huge neural network just putting pieces and pieces together. It's almost like trying to replicate what happens to us with our cells. We have like around 66 trillion cells that make up our entire body, all doing different jobs. Basically, a neural network in a sense. So yeah, it's like deep fakes is like the beginning steps of really trying to mimic humanity in a sense, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
I got deep faked. And, the early stuff is fine if it's parody, and if it's obvious it's parody.
Yeah, that's what I agree with. I agree with them on that one. Like I said, I watched a lot of like the comedy ones, like the Michael Jackson AI videos, the ones with like, what was it, Tupac hanging out with Mr. Rogers, like those that are absolutely ridiculous. Those are fun, haha, whatever. The problem is when people start using deep fakes to promote false information or to make somebody look bad or a group look bad, like that's where it becomes an issue. And it makes you wonder, is there a way to really like solve it without, can we get rid of the bad stuff while keeping the good stuff? It's hard to tell. It's hard. I can't really say right now.
One of my favorite of these is when I was babyfied in an actual conversation I had with Theo Vaughn on his podcast.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be hilarious. I got to check that one out. I do.
You're not thinking to yourself, did Neil actually become a baby to do this? Because it's parody. It's one of the most cherished means of expression we have in the United States. But when you do this...
And see, that's what I love. The fact that Neil knows that people are parodying him all the time and he just sits back and laughs at it. He doesn't get butthurt. He's not one of those people who gets mad when he gets made fun of. He rolls with it. He enjoys it. He can make fun of himself. I love it. He's just showing clips of all the times. Like we got, let me see.
Because it's parody. It's one of the most...
Yep, got Saturday Night Live.
Cherished means of...
Epic rap battles.
Expression we have in the United States.
Key and Peele. Oh man. The fact that he knows about everyone that's making fun of him and he just rolls with it. He just likes it. Oh, I love it.
States. But when you do this and the viewer does not know it's parody,
that's the problem.
Then you're crossing a line. Obviously, I'm not alone in this landscape as a victim of deep fakes. There are many, many celebrities out there. There are public figures that have been deep faked in ways that are also affecting the integrity of their actual message that they would post on their authentic platforms. I've seen people write some kind of science script, then deepfake me saying the script that they wrote. Some of them are attempts to just spread more science, but through my voice and my persona. Often, in every case that I've seen, some of the science is wrong. These deepfakes are becoming so sophisticated and so subtle that it even fooled a close friend of mine.
I was scrolling through.
Yeah, wow, that's, oh man. Oh man, I was not expecting to see Terry Crews. Terry Crews got tricked by a deepfake. Okay, but that's what makes it bad when you get to the point where you don't know and you're actively trying to deceive people. Like you were saying, some people were trying to use his AI voice to help spread more science knowledge, and even that I would say is wrong, because even if you're trying to do your due diligence to educate, you yourself should have the gumption to just put yourself on camera and do a channel of your own. You shouldn't be using someone else's image falsely without their permission. You know, parodies is one thing because we know it's parodies, but actually trying to mimic a person and trick people, even if it's for good intentions, it can very easily go in the wrong direction. So I'm against that completely.
My TikTok feed, and I came upon a video of you talking about a type 3 civilization, and I was so impressed. I showed my son. I was like, look at this, can you believe this? I said, I have to call Neil and tell him how brilliant this observation was in this video that I found on TikTok.
You texted me, and there I was in the video narrating it, and there's images of me talking about it, and I'm looking at.
And how I could tell it was wrong is because I can tell it was deep fake only because I watch enough Star Talk and everything, and I know that Neil doesn't sit there with his eyes bulging out like that. You know, that's the only giveaway. The problem is with AI, it's at a point now to where it's so good you have to notice the really, really small, subtle details. And then in some of these AI deepfake videos, there are no subtle details that are off. So it gets hard. Yeah, it's near impossible. And pretty soon, absolutely impossible.
Narrating it, and there's images of me talking about it, and I'm looking at it, and I say, I don't remember this. I never did this. But you were all excited about it, and I felt bad saying, dude, that's not me, okay? That's fake me. And so what was your reaction when I told you that?
Well, if you felt bad, I felt worse, because I totally believed that was you, Neil. It scared me, and it made me go crazy. I was going, oh my God. All day I was like, oh, I will never trust the Interstellar soundtrack again. Like, talking over the Interstellar music. You know?
Absolutely. Like at this point, when it comes down to anybody's stuff, if I see them in a YouTube short or reel and it's not directly from their channel, I'm skipping it. I'm not even giving it a chance, because at first it was the people just reposting content. Okay, whatever. Then there was people reposting content out of context. Now it's people literally just making false AI videos. So it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Like for Neil, if it's not something posted on the official Star Talk page, I don't even give it any mind and everything. Even if I heard, oh, he got interviewed by such and such, I have to get confirmation that that interview is real before I actually watch it, because it is getting terrible.
So I'm flattered that people want to put me into content in a way that attracts audiences. I'm seriously flattered by that. However, it's a deep fake. About 15% of it was false. I don't think it was purposefully false. The person just didn't know. If it's fooling people and people are not thinking, oh, this is a parody or this is just a...
That's him giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't think that they were as innocent in that. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Fun excursion, then it's transgressive of the integrity we've worked so hard to build. Something's got to be done about that, and something will. Of course, a science video here or there that gets deep-faked, or the integrity of a celebrity, that might not get as widely noticed as if a deep fake shows up of a political figure that affects the stability of peace in the world.
At the beginning of the war, there was a movie posted on hacked Ukrainian TV. It was picturing Zelensky that was stating that they're surrendering to Russia. And later on, there was another movie showing up on YouTube or Facebook. It was this time picturing Putin saying that, hey, we're finally getting to peace. They weren't that technically good. I mean, they fooled some people, but the majority noticed that it's fake. Especially since, and I'm talking about the one with Zelensky, it had like a bigger head than normal. Not huge difference, but if you really know how the president looks, you could actually notice the difference. Today, for everybody, I hope it would look very fake.
Yeah, that's the thing. For people who know him, they was able to tell the difference. Just like I was saying with Neil, I know that he doesn't sit there with his eyes bulging out of his head when he's explaining something. So that's how I was able to tell. But again, if you don't know the person and you're not used to seeing their mannerisms in any aspect, then yeah, you can easily be fooled even by the more sloppy AI, you know?
But obviously for other people that aren't really exposed to multiple media streams and don't really have access to internet, it might actually be, you saw it on TV, right? It must be true. Zelensky came up himself and said that's fake, but there are many other stories or situations that happened that weren't so popular. For instance, when you have a campaign, political campaign, usually you have to stop campaigning around, I don't know, Friday, and until Sunday you can't state anything anymore. And on Sunday there are the elections. So there were countries where deepfakes were released on Friday evening or Saturday morning about the politicians getting bribed or discussing war or discussing particular subjects, and they were not allowed to speak to say they're fake. So that actually had huge implications on people that vote.
Deepfakes are already sophisticated enough to exploit people's confidence in ways that swindles them out of their money. By the way, scamming is not new to the internet.
That's not even a surprise. I figured that would be the first thing that would happen is the scammers would be trying to scam people out their money. That's the first thing that people try to use it for, is taking advantage of people like that. So no surprise there at all. Let me see here. I can just imagine the old people. It's the elderly. The elderly are the first victims. I'm betting that the first story is going to be about an elderly person or couple.
People have been scammed ever since there's been the premise of trust that one human would have in another. But with AI participating in this exercise in the hands of nefarious few, it's taken to another level.
Okay, so if we look at the types of scams that make use of deepfakes, so we have the romance/investment scams, and this discussion is very personal. I receive tens of these messages.
People getting catfished with AI, is that what's happening? I mean, they were already getting catfished, so yeah, no surprise there.
Every week, and they're all like, hey, this is Joanna, you're my driver, at what hour do you come to the airport? The first feeling, the first reaction you have is like, hey, I'm not the person you're talking to. And then they'll say, oh, sorry, my name is Joanna, who are you? And they'll start talking to you, ask you about your business, what you do. She's going to tell about her side, and the discussion is going. And at some point, after they gain your trust, then they will start as saying, look, this is how I make money, I invest in these funds, and they'll try to get you in there as well.
Oh man, I have experience with this. When I see them come in, I don't know, because I know that it's a scam and it's either an AI or some dude in some third world country trying to scam me or something other like that. Because I know that it's a potential scam, I will play along and just mess with them. And every time they ask me for money, I'll ask them for money back. Say this, I do that. I say send me a video, live stream. I mess with them so much until they actually stop messaging me. I make them stop messaging me. I think at some point they realize, oh yeah, this guy's onto us. It's almost like a sick pleasure. I get like a little high from doing it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. It's just funny just to mess with these guys. Oh man, and now we have AI doing it. So I've been thinking to myself, I wonder, was it the person who got sick and tired of me, or was it the AI that got sick and tired of me? But yeah, for people who don't know any better, this is terrible. They're gonna get hella scammed all out of all kinds of money because of this, and then they fall for these tricks. They think, oh, this is a real person. But yeah, don't fall for that stuff. You know, block them or be like me and run them around in circles and torment them a bit, whichever. But don't fall for the scams.
One thing leads to the other, and then you're bankrupt. Then you're going to have the BEC, the classical business email compromise. There was a famous case that came out of Hong Kong a few years ago. So basically, this financial person gets into a meeting, an online meeting with everybody else. There were other 14 people in there, all from the CEO office and other financial people and upper management, so to speak. During that meeting, they advised him to do payments in total of $25 million. But in reality, nobody besides him worked for the company. They were all other people using deepfake to simulate that they are the persons who stated they were. Then we have the relatives types of scam, family members, so to speak. Basically, somebody calls you and tells you it's a family member. And the idea is that the person that's talking to you is saying, hey, dad, I'm wounded or I'm arrested. I need help. I need money. Most of the time having exact your son's voice. Because these guys, before doing that, they go and find recordings, or they actually call him. Call your son saying they're, I don't know, pizza delivery or just asking default information, whatever. You need only a few tens of seconds of recording to then be able to replicate the voice as an AI. It's always based on urgency, so you have to act fast. So if you're scared and you really act fast, you're going to fall for it. And you're going to send that money because your son, daughter, neighbor is in danger.
So what hope do we have to defend against any of this? What tools are available other than plain old common sense?
If you happen to believe me, for me,
not like that. Plain old common sense. You get a weird call like that, do some double checking. The first thing you'd be like is, how come you're not calling me from your phone? What's with this caller ID? But then they can also mask that as well. So I'm like, it's a lot of hurdles. It's a lot of hurdles. It's a lot of headaches. You got to go through a lot because how he put it, the nefarious few. Great statement. I love that. They are relentless. They are absolutely relentless, and they're going to come up with more and more tricks. So you got to be diligent. That's the tough part about it. The moment you get lazy, they find a way to get you.
Me, I stopped answering phone calls from unknown numbers because in the past year, besides two exceptions, it was always a scammer. It was always trying to get details on where do I live, what do I do, if I confirm that I work at a particular bank, and so on.
Can't they masquerade a phone number that you might be familiar with?
They can, but knowing which numbers I have in my list is a bit more difficult. A tool that's already commercially available, which is called Scameo, which basically it's the end result of the AI honeypots. We're deploying, so to speak, vulnerable persons, which are faked, are created with AI. The scammer will call them, will start having a discussion. Our honeypot AI will continue the discussion saying, yes, tell me more. Yes, I'm interested in your investment.
So this call is regarding on a loan application.
This is AI wars. This is AI wars. The scammers are using AI to scam us, and now we're using AI to reverse their scams. This is literally AI wars happening in real time. Oh man, this is
They
wild.
got pre-qualified from $500 to $5,000. Are you still looking for any personal loans so I can help with that?
Oh, I see. Yes, I might be interested. Can you tell me more about the terms and conditions?
So basically, not only they're wasting their time because they're not talking to a real
You got AI arguing with AI over here. How much more ridiculous is this gonna get? Oh man, we over here got Skynet beefing with Brainiac. I love it.
person. They're not going to make any money out of it. We're also interpreting the things that they say. So basically, we get more details on how to increase our detection. So we can warn people, hey, if this guy calls you, not legit.
I know this is a serious video, but I really wish that Chuck was in this video because I know he'd have plenty of jokes for this part right here. I know he would be having us on the floor right now. Oh man, I wish he was here for this one.
There's also two other projects that are pretty much mature and are probably going to be released to the public quite soon. So basically, we have two larger tools that we're talking about for deepfakes. The first one is specialized on video and images.
Completely wrong about this. How can you be so dense?
And basically, not only it will give you a
You know what? That's
score-
another thing I noticed. The shadows. That does not look like Neil. Like, look at it. Like, really look at it. That does not look like him. Like, it looks like it could be his cousin or something. But even the way the shadows move, why?
About this. How
When he
can you
leans
be
forward.
so dense?
Like, the way the shadows move and the way he opens his mouth and everything, like, it's so bad. But again, if you're not used to watching Star Talk and everything and you just come across this video, you'd believe it. It's like I said, it looks like it could be like a brother or a cousin or something. So that's close enough to fool somebody who doesn't know any better.
And basically, not only it will give you a score, a threshold if it's fake or not, but for instance, for images, it will also tell you which part of the image is fake and which part is real. Because in many times, they don't just generate stuff from zero, they take something that's legit and they alter it. So it makes it more believable in this way. And the second one, which is for audio, it will transcribe into text and then decide based on the text if it's fake or not, and give you also a threshold about that.
Will there come a time where the deepfake AI is so good, there's nothing to learn from it to tell you that it's fake? And that would render the tools useless.
I believe that there may be a day when a deep fake is going to be more appealing to a person, even though a protection tool will tell him that's fake. They will be like, no, this has to be true. You're wrong.
Okay, so then what happens then?
And you would think that people would be smarter than that. Like if your software, if your tools and everything are telling you something and then you don't believe it. But I deal with that all the time with people, especially like the job I work, customer service. People don't know technology. People don't understand technology. The vast majority do not. I'm telling you. The number of excuses I have when I tell people what's wrong with their stuff and they're like, no, it can't be that. It has to be this. I'm like, you got like educate yourself, people. Educate yourself. You're not stupid. You're just uninformed. You know, stop just believing what's in your head. You make up answers in your head with no evidence to support it, and you believe it's true. And I deal with that on a regular. It is so frustrating. So yeah, I 100% believe what he was talking about because yeah, I've seen it. People will literally look at the actual factual proof and be like, "No, it can't be that. It can't be," because they worked it out in their head that if they see this, this, and this, then it has to be true. Sad, but it happens It happens on a daily basis. On a daily.
I hope some regulations will happen and some particular parts of the internet are going to be banned.
What I had to think about it, and I said, well, that makes complete sense. Just days ago, Sora 2 was released, and I was impressed that they had a rules of engagement where if you're going to deep fake someone, that person has to not only also have an account, but needs to give you their explicit permission for you to do it. By those measures, I should never end up faked by anybody because, number one, I'm not on the platform, nor am I given anybody permission to do so. Is this, that sounds like a sensible way to take AI forward. Would you agree?
I feel like in this case, it's not enough. Before he even gives his answer, I feel like it's not enough because those terms and conditions get violated all the time. And then if you play the game of, okay, we're just going to cancel their account or restrict the account, nothing's stopping them from creating a brand new email and going back in and starting up a new account under a new email and different name and all that, and then doing the thing all over again. You know, they're just banning. We need laws to protect us, not just terms and conditions on a sheet of paper or on a sheet on a computer or something where you click on it. No, we need actual laws and actual consequences. That's what we need. We need for people to actually face punishment for deep faking without their permission. You know, if the person, and then we need intelligent people to come in and inform these lawmakers on the ins and outs, because they be so extreme on one end or the other, because they don't, I don't know, it seems like they don't like reading the details in detail anymore. And so they come up with laws that's either favoring one side or the other too heavily. We need common sense, intelligent laws to regulate AI so that people are not using it to hurt people. That's what we need. And we need people to actually, you know, do their job and their due diligence to write these laws out in detail. Leave nothing vague, in detail. Establish some order around here, for real.
No.
No, okay.
I mean, for Sora, that's perfectly fine. That's correct. And on their platform, that's fine. But there will be other legit or illegit competitors which will not have that rule.
So
That too.
unless it became
That's another thing. Sora's not the only one. There's a whole bunch of companies that's already out right now, and not all of them are going to do that, where they're going to make you sign terms and conditions. And again, the terms and conditions get ignored all the time anyway. So again, we need laws put in place.
industry-wide set of guardrails that are agreed upon, you will still have a job.
In cybersecurity, you'll always have
always have a job. For now, you know, I can tell the deepfake videos of myself, even if people who know me well couldn't. The reason why I know how I speak. I know the vocal intonations, the timbre of my voice. I know that there are pauses that I put into my sentences. Some are thought pauses, others are dramatic pauses. I've noticed that AI hasn't figured that out yet. It just has my words and my voice, and it just rattles it off. Other deepfakes are people just
Hey, thank you for the follow, Princess Sparkle. Awesome. Welcome to the stream.
use me and my likeness to advertise something that they want to sell you. I can let you know here and now, I have never done that, nor will I ever do that. You will not see me hawking products.
The problem is, even though he's right here on his channel, on his page, saying this, the only people who are going to get the message are the fans of his platform. Everybody else who knows his name but doesn't really watch Neil is still going to be fooled when somebody puts out a video like that and deepfake him again. And that's the real problem. We're not getting to an actual solution here. He's doing all he can, but more needs to be done overall.
Not soft drinks, not sneakers. I don't care. It doesn't matter what it is that's out there. You will not see me hawking it. And if you do, it's not simply chances are it's a deep fake. It is a deep fake. Pure and simple. Don't listen to him. He's not the real Neil. I am. So I don't endorse products.
Oh, did you see how everything kind of went gray there? Hang on a second. Bring that back.
I am.
You see how like it looks like his mustache just got extra gray right there for no reason.
So I don't endorse products. I don't endorse apps. I hardly ever, bordering on never, tell you what to do. I'll say, if you try this, then this might happen. If you don't do that, then this will happen. I don't say, do this. Oh, that's not true. There is something I do tell you to do every single day. And you know what that is? It's keep looking up.
Great video. Great video. Very informative. Unfortunately, when you look at the view count here, where are we at? 2 million views. And while that is impressive, this country alone is 300 million. You know what I mean? And so while plenty of people are getting informed, statistically, like in terms of percentages, it's nowhere near enough. There's not enough people getting informed. You know, this is a great video. I love the fact that he put this out there, getting more people more informed and everything, getting more people on the ball about this. But yeah, it's a lot more work that needs to be done. there's a lot more work because this is getting crazy. And the thing is, I'm not even against AI in a sense. I'm against people abusing AI. I use AI for assistance. It's an assistance tool and everything. If I need to ask questions about something that I'm like, hey, blah blah blah. What's this? Or something like that. Or script writing. You like have it edit my scripts after I write them. I don't even use it to write my scripts. I use it to edit my scripts after I write them to see if there's any touch ups or stuff like that. So as an AI assist tool, making fun, silly videos, doing things to enhance your own personal product, or even just having fun with it, that's great. I'm all for that. But the deep fakes, yeah, that's where the problem comes in. And the problem is we have the nefarious few who just don't care and they're going to do it anyway. So, yeah, that's what makes things very sticky right now. Like I said, my opinion on this is that we need laws put in place. We need common sense laws put in place, but we need intelligent people to put these laws together. Intelligent people who truly understand the ins and outs to really sit down with our lawmakers and help them really iron this out, because this is a really complicated issue and it's not going to be solved with a blanket proposal. No. But again, I don't want to see AI completely vanish because it's so useful in so many positive ways. It's one of those situations where it's the new tech, it's the new thing, and because it's so powerful, it's equally just as bad as it is good. It is truly a double-edged sword in this context. And so I'm just hoping that as time progresses, we get a better handle on this thing, because right now, 2025, things are going crazy and nobody knows like what's what, it's all over the place. But that's it for this one. So y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. And let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you really feel like you want to support this platform, consider joining our Patreon. All right? So, till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here. All right, guys. Yeah. Deepfakes. That is wild. The fact that we're dealing with it and it's getting more and more advanced and crazy, and we got everybody having to blow the whistle on this at this point. Everybody's standing up and talking about how they're getting deepfaked, how, AI is going crazy. And we got a whole bunch of closet douchebags that are just not caring. They're just going to do what they do, and they don't give a fuck about nothing else. Nobody else. All right, so that wraps it up for that little topic right there. Our next video is going to be some casual geographics. Let's get into an animal video. You know me, I love checking out animal videos. So let's do our correct opening. I know I didn't do it in the first one, but we're going to get now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot. We kick back in, react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We're about to check out some casual geographic. All right, so this one right here is called Why This is the Scariest Predator of All Time. I hope he's not talking about this. What is this? This is supposed to be the kiwi bird, because they lay an egg that's like almost half the size of their body or something like that. But I know he's not talking about this one. This has got to be something about evolution or something. But let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's check this out. Let's go.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution. This is the portrait.
Yep, he was just talking about evolution. You think about that, the fact that we don't really control how our bodies change and as we evolve over time and everything. So it makes you wonder, what happened? What happened? Where did they go wrong in this process? Heck, where did we go wrong? I've been looking at humans sometimes yeah, we got so many positive ways that our bodies function, but we also got some real negative ways too. What's going on there? Let's go.
Some animals very clearly got the middle finger from evolution. This is the portrait of privilege. There is no animal that's gotten more green lights from God than a bulletproof, sawtoothed, predatory sledgehammer with hyperintelligence, parkour prowess, and the ability to cryo-sleep like Captain America. Yeah, that menace is alive. Find out if you want to. Brumation's pretty much hibernation for reptiles. Basically a built-in power save mode for animals that already don't use much of it. But it means this is an apex predator that could survive a fate with Elsa. Cause
I feel like he had to put that out there for certain people who are the thrill seekers who would try to mess with a gator like that. Yeah, no, I don't care if it looks dead. It could be on its back and smelling funny with flies over it and vultures flying around. I'm still not getting near it. I don't care. It'd be just my luck that it's actually alive still.
Gators and the like can survive a winter in a frozen pond by turning their metabolism all the way down, where they'll just stick their snouts above water and leave the rest under the ice where it's actually warmer until fate decides to defrost them. Mind you, brumaceans not sleep, and gators will move around on days when it's warmer, but it also means this ill-mannered iceberg can probably sense you walking past it, thanks to another superpower we'll get into later. Cause you're gonna learn that not only is the mame gecko the most disrespectful addition to the food web, it is humanity's greatest predator, and whatever Oppenheimer felt when Hiroshima got hit with a massacre mushroom isn't even 1% of the regret felt by whoever unleashed an armor-plated equalizer onto Earth. But real quick, I'm gonna be saying crocodiles for most of this video, but a lot of this applies to crocodilians as a concept. I cannot express how much every part of a crocodile's body is designed to author your obituary, and that includes its walnut-sized brain. Because crocodiles are intelligent on a level that should deeply disturb you. Both mugger crocodiles and American alligators will lure birds in by using sticks and twigs as bait to snatch their souls. That would already be bad enough, without the implication. The implication is that Satan's Snaggletooth stapler is able to take seasonality into account, since they're aware enough to pull this in the middle of nesting season. They're like Batman with prep time, except they've had 100 million years to plot. Another revelation is that the dinosaur time left behind will hunt as a pack, with scientists watching a group of crocs swimming in a circle around a shoal of fish, making the circle tighter and tighter until the fish were forced into a bait ball, just for the chompy boys to take turns cutting across the center of the circle to get their share of fish. There's another example where a massive saltwater crocodile scared a pig into running into a lagoon, where it was immediately jumped by two smaller crocs waiting. Now the implication there is somehow the giant salty knew exactly what direction to force the pig. Crocs have been doing this, it's just as expert Vladimir
I mean, it's not somehow. It's not somehow. I mean, I know he's saying somehow in that context, but that's usually the folly of humanity. We always assume that these creatures are dumber than what they actually are. The fact of the matter is they're just intelligent enough to put together an ambush. And yeah, that is kind of terrifying when you see how, just how powerful they are. All the other stats, and they're still smart enough to outsmart you.
Danae will tell you it's incredibly difficult to study an animal that does its damage in the water. Because if you're in the water studying hunting crocodiles, chances are they're also studying you, and their thesis statement is your headstone engravement. Vlad has put in over 3,000 hours of watching crocs, and has witnessed things like a stronger, heavier croc driving fish to shore, with smaller, more agile teammates hawking cornered fish. Now you might ask, how do the crocs share their victims? And honestly, that might be more unsettling than how they murk them. Chris Campbell was a contractor for the Okefenokee Wildlife Reserve, which meant over a decade of watching what a neighbor gator is capable of. One day he showed up to work with 60-something gators posted up by the boat docks. What he described were two groups of gators, one in the semicircle formation driving fish to the shallows and using the boats to corner them, and the other group in the background resting, or more like waiting. Because whenever a gator from the hunting party caught a fish, he'd immediately retire to the waiting group, and one of the waiting crocs would sub in and take his place. This went on for hours, until it got hot enough for them to clock out and go their ways. But when Campbell went back the next morning, like clockwork, the morning crush was still there. Same time, same place, same agenda. That's a level of teamwork and foresight most people aren't willing to accept from a prehistoric snap trap. But your ignorance ain't bliss, in fact it's what sustains them. In many spots.
Exactly. Do not underestimate these creatures. Being ignorant in these situations is not going to play in your favor. And quit downplaying these animals, man. They are much smarter than you think they are. None of this really surprises me. It's interesting. It is intriguing, but it's not surprising because I don't doubt the intelligence of animals. I've seen too many things in both real life and on video with animals to make me think that they're stupid,
In Africa and Australia, people are warned never to get water from the same place more than once, and definitely not past twice. It's because crocodiles will memorize patterns and clock your daily routine, and getting too predictable around a professional camper means the croc will take note. Just to end.
A professional camper that's like taking their hallway the exact same time every single time while playing against a really good sniper. Like, yeah, you're just lining yourself up for the kill. It's like, nah, you got to change it up. You got to change it up.
Ambush you the next chance they get, and they'll use very little energy to do it. It's also why studying them is like edging death. Choose the same spots repeatedly, and at best, the croc notices and avoids you with no regard for your research. And at worst, Senor Snappy studies your habits enough to put a halo around your head. That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift wrap.
Yo, dude freaked out. He's like, yo. You see that? Oh, man. He's over here just looking at his stuff. The croc came up on him so smooth. He pulled up like, what's good?
Is your habits enough to put a halo around your head? That's a real PhD, which makes the crocodile a gift-wrapped FU to any creature of habit, and why the most dangerous kind of croc is actually an investigator. But if you watch this video, you could be the smartest thing missing a spine. You'll still be a living doormat if you don't have the hardware to back it up. And no animal has more disrespectful hardware than a motion-activated bear trap. The crocodile is the most physically unfair predator on Earth because
and they hardly make a sound when they're in the water up until they're ready to snatch you up. They just over here just sliding through. So smooth with it.
Virtually every body part has been expressly designed to flatline you. They have the strongest recorded bite force of any animal at 3,700 pounds per square inch, making its jaw a steel trap capable of damage on par with victims of war. But maturing's realizing it's the teeth as much as the jaw. Sharks have serrated teeth to slice through prey. Crocs have death cones designed to keep prey in its custody, meaning if a leather log bites you, you have the lowest chance of escape, which gets worse when the croc proceeds to drown you. And with crocs being able to hold their breath for up to 2 hours, trust that you'll pass tense long before he does.
For real. And the whole grip thing, yeah, that is very true. What was it? Watching World's Dumbest. Saw this dude who was trying to do the whole thing where you stick your head in the gator's mouth and everything. Man, one drop of sweat fell from his brow and hit the gator's tongue, and he snapped clothes on him. And he was trapped, and it took a team of like 6-7 dudes to be able to pry his mouth open, not even all the way, just an inch wide enough to get dude to slide his head out before it got completely crushed. Barely saved him. Like, oh man, the injuries and the puncture wounds that he had and everything, he was so lucky that it didn't get to his brain. Like, he was lucky. Like, man, do not mess with these things. And when I say 7 dudes, these weren't like regular sized dudes. These were like muscular, like, you know, definitely like big dudes and everything. And still, like 6-7 of them. Like, man, nah, don't mess with these. Great. No, don't mess with them. Don't play around with them. If you're gonna study them, do it extremely safe. Try to do as many like remote cameras as possible because you do not want to get next to them, man. You don't.
The only thing with those teeth is they're great for grabbing, useless for chewing. So they'll slam prey into chunks and swallow them whole, which leads to the most broken finishing move of any animal, the death roll. Crocs also have the most acidic stomach of any animal and can dissolve bones, horns, and hooves. But they're also bloodbenders with a heart that controls exactly where the blood goes, and a feeding croc will direct blood to its stomach, so the carbon dioxide in it only makes the acid more corrosive. And good luck fighting back when nature made an evolutionary aggro weapon borderline bullet.
Yo, thank you so much for the follow. The Happy Boy 34. Thank you. Oh man. So acidic stomachs, they can just eat anything that they want to, no problem. So that's why they don't have to worry about chewing and swallow you whole. Their stomach's gonna take care of it, and they regulate their blood flow. Why do they have so much control over their bodies? Like, I wish I can regulate and actually control where my blood is going at any moment and decide what I'm gonna do with it. You know how much you could actually do if you had that ability? Why do the crocodiles get all these broken abilities? Like, what deity did they do like a huge favor for to get all these blessings? That's what I want to know.
Proof. Crocodiles are covered in osteoderms, and armor plating blocks the teeth of other animals from doing damage, which is why there's more than one case of a croc tanking a gunshot, but the nasty work is what you can't see. The scales are said to manipulate water in a way that means a 20-foot problem doesn't make ripples. The osteoderms create countercurrents that
I was just talking about that. They just move through so smooth with it. They're not making a sound.
Cancel out any disturbances made in the water. Basically cloaking technology, but in a steroid reptile. The same osteoderms can store heat for when it gets too cold and then release it when it's too hot, so they also have a built-in thermostat. There's one more trick under its skin, and it's that when crocs spend all that time underwater, lactic acid starts to build up in them. But because osteoderms are made of mineralized bones, the minerals will slightly dissolve if the acid gets too high, releasing carbonate and bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acid and raise the pH. Crocs are nature's nepo babies. Evolution gave them every cheat possible. And with salties growing up to 20 feet long and pressing the scales at often over 2,000 pounds, it's not like they needed more handouts. Especially when you realize, except for a tail that stores fat like a camel's hump, Crocs are almost all muscle and look like a snake with legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be...
Oh, that was hilarious. Again, why are you messing with these things? Don't even give me that, well, he ate already, so he's full, so he's not going to be a great... I don't care. You pissed them off, they're gonna death row you just to prove a point. This video is full of people getting way too close. Way too close. Because even this and this, that's way too close, man. What are y'all doing? Do not. You're just asking. That's the thing. So many humans who get messed up by animals, they were asking for it. But one thing I didn't know that they stored all of their fat into their tail, and so that the rest of their body can be pure muscle. That's, again, another cheat code. Like, imagine storing all your fat in one area. I guess we do with our gut, whatever, but this is far more efficient. I'd like to have a tail where I can put all my fat at, let the rest of my body be muscular. For real.
Legs with Kratos' knives for teeth. That tail is a lot stronger than you think, and the same one that can briefly airlift a plus-size predator would absolutely shatter your leg with a direct hit. But there might not be anything more unsettling than crocodiles having probably the most advanced eyes of any animal. Eyes nature put right at the top of their heads, so snappy lads can plot on your life while cosplaying as a log. Eyes that have a protective nictating membrane, so even attacking one of their few weaknesses still requires two-factor authentication, especially since they can retract their eyeballs. And like dolphins, crocs can rest half their brain at a time, meaning the pride of Steve Irwin can sleep with one eye open, and studies show they're more likely to do that when they're around humans. Also, they have night vision because of...
So they took it very seriously. Very seriously. I don't know how I feel about that. Sleeping with one eye open. That they can literally do that. How do you sleep with half of your brain still being active? Why are they getting so many buffs? The more I hear about it, the worse it gets. And how far are we? It's not even halfway through the video. I hope in the second half he starts talking about their drawbacks, because, yeah, all of these, this is crazy.
Of course they do. And that's not even the most broken part of their vision. The fovea is a small part of the retina, but it's where vision is the sharpest, and it's what you use when you focus on a specific word on a page, or play Where's Waldo. And when you move your eyes to look at something, got him, that's you putting the image on your fovea. The problem is, what is a tiny dot for us is the shape of a skid mark in a crocodile. Having a fat fovea means nature's favorite predator can scan an entire shoreline without moving its head. If you still don't follow, get a book and try to read the entire page without moving your eyes once, and then realize how much of a middle finger this creature's existence is. Especially since the Titanic scale demon has cockroach levels of plot armor.
Like, they don't read, they scan. It's like a photo scanning machine or something like that. Like, what? They just see the whole area? They don't have peripheral vision. They just have vision. Everything is just their vision. I'm starting to get mad at this point. Like, why are they so powerful? Why are they so OP? Like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong.
Crocodiles can tank freezing cold, extreme heat, radiation, and can live in waters contaminated with heavy metals. And with a diet of a morgue, they're resistant to nastiness like anthrax, cholera, and the most potent substance on Earth, botulism. They also have negligible senescence, meaning they don't really age the same way most animals do. It doesn't make them immortal, but it does mean that they never really stop growing and can easily pass 100. In fact, right now, there's a croc that's been alive since 1900. Like the year. Which means, other than a Greenland shark, I don't think there's another predator that can outlive a croc, and with them being nature's favorite, of course some sick muppet made them resistant to cancer. And many believe it's thanks to their gut, because the gut microbiome is said to be a huge part of your health, and a crocodile's gut community manages to reverse cancer. An experiment found that their gut bacteria put the brakes on cancer and slowed the growth of cancer-causing cells. Basically, it's a cancer to cancer, and now I understand why Buddy from Spider-Man crashed out, especially since it turns out alligators and crocodiles can regenerate a lost tail. Crocodilian blood also throws hands with bad bacteria.
Why are they getting so much? They're immune to all diseases. They're universal on cancer. They're like, what? This is too much. This is too much. I feel like I'm watching like a death battle build up. Like, why is it too much? Like somebody was sitting there writing down all of these buffs. Yeah, he's gonna be able to do this and immune to this and do this, do this. Well, I guess that was God doing that, right? Putting down this whole list of things. But why? Why are they? Why are they all of this wrapped up in one package?
Yeah, and can dead diseases like salmonella and staph infections. This thing's built like a Dark Souls boss, and the fact that they can survive several acts of God yet get neutralized by a rubber band around the mouth proves nature has a sense of irony. But that's a lot better than getting folded by some of the diseases out there. And there's some stuff that Satan would second guess. Viewer discretion is advised, and this time, I'm so serious. I'm not being cute. If you're queasy and not built for body horror, go here before.
All right. So same disclaimer. He let us know. I'm giving y'all extra time. You need to click away or look away. Do it now. All right, let's go.
Before I ruin your whole day. Your lack of action will be considered consent, I'm just saying. Last chance, you can still go back. Alright, this is on you. 3, 2, happy Halloween. I didn't even curse, I did gag a little. This is a deer suffering from papillomavirus, and it's usually not harmful unless you value mental health. But it can also cause Lovecraftian rabbits, with those affected seeming to grow tentacles. And if you live in Colorado, you've definitely seen these jackalopes popping up. And according to this article, the cutaneous quills are caused by the cottontail papillomavirus. This is the worst thing you can see while a mile high, because of the altitude. We fear most what we can't understand, and sometimes it feels like fear is the only thing stories like these are selling, and how that story is told could be the difference between being informed and $5 a month, so hopefully I will never have to look at that deer again. But you'll never see a croc with something like that. It just wasn't enough nature gave an overachieving iguana the most broken build on the planet. Their abilities would get them banned in any game. Like I said, a crocodile on a stakeout can hold its breath for hours, and alligators can survive a 5-month cold plunge. Low metabolism means they live on power save mode, and it's also why a crocodile can go up to 2 years without eating. God bless the bloke that breaks his fast. It means crocodiles can wait out the times that would surely wipe out anything else, and now you see how an aggressive snout managed to reject the same death that found the dinosaurs. Crocs have been around since Saturn was single and still waiting on a ring, and the fact that they can just suspend animation by putting their life on layaway just proves that they really are the teacher's pet of evolution. Also, crocodiles are more than capable of running fast enough to catch you off guard, or at least a Cuban croc will, and this is the one time I wish it were AI. And whoever said you should run away from one in a zigzag is guilty of attempted murder. That is a myth that only ups the chance that you trip and go out like a horror.
For real, you do not zigzag. Their reflexes. Did you see the earlier clips where like the fish, you turned his head and got him? Yeah, no, zigzagging is not going to help you. Your best chance is hard sprint to a tree. I think if he talks about them climbing trees, I'm going to lose it. They better not climb up no damn trees. That's our. We can't get in the water. We can't outrun them. We can't zigzag them or dodge them. We can't overpower them. Our reflexes are damn sure not going to do anything. Our guns don't even do much to them. Their scales are over here acting as body armor. So you better not show an example of one climbing a tree. I swear. Let's see.
Movie. You could climb a tree, except they can do that too, because honestly, why not?
This is not pre-watched, y'all. I promise y'all. Why are they able to climb a tree? I was like, they better not climb a tree. They done covered everything else. They better not climb a tree. And yet here we are. They're climbing a tree. I'm done with this. I'm so mad at this now. Why are they able to do all of this? See, I already had a healthy fear of gators, not like a phobia or anything, but just like I see a gator, I'm not going in. This is enough to make you want to have a phobia. Like what? What is going on here? Man, see, this is too much information. If I ever find myself, unfortunately, like too close to a croc, I'm a freak out. I'll be gone before the croc gets to me. It's like, just take me now. Like, why? Why are they able to do all this? No, I don't like this.
They do everything else. And not only do they climb trees, according to scientists, they do it regularly, with them finding grown adults 10 feet in the trees and juveniles as high as 30. School taught you to be afraid of quicksand and giant Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences.
Like, for real, why weren't we taught about this? Wait, did you just say climb fences? And we got the photos. No. See? I'm so tired. No, I'm tired of this. No, stop it. We got what? We got like what in this video? Another 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes to tell us about everything that's dangerous about these things. Because this is usually the part where he talks about their drawbacks. But I have not seen a drawback other than the fact that if you wrap their mouth shut, they can't eat and they'll die. That's it. Nothing else.
Venus flytraps, yet somehow a drop gator was an unmentioned possibility. They can also climb fences of every kind. And again, you already know where this was taken. This is flagrantly
Every kind. Do you see the barbed wire fence? Are you telling me that the electric fences don't bother them either? Please don't tell me that. I'm like, please don't tell me that they tank an electric fence.
fences of every kind. And again, you already know where this was taken. This is flagrantly Floridian. I think now's a good time to mention crocodiles are more related to birds than to a turtle, snake, or a lizard, meaning we just barely missed out on this freak being able to fly. Flightlessness aside, another thing they can't do.
Thank goodness they did not get the ability to fly. Oh man. See, that wasn't even something that was on my list. I wasn't even thinking you better not pull up a flying lizard, but just the fact that was mentioned that evolutionary wise, that was a possibility. Oh, again, too much.
Well, is see underwater. Their aquavision is actually kind of mid. We're this far into this video and we finally found a weakness. But don't get too excited because nature overcompensated with something outrageous.
They can feel
Those
the vibrations.
pits seasoning the crocodile are pressure sensors. It's how the ultimate predator can clock the smallest vibrations in the water. It completely
They don't need to see underwater. No, they can sense you underwater. That's better than sight. That's better than sight. They can feel it.
erases their lack of water vision. In fact, you could hog tie a croc blindfolded, throw it into a pool, and let a leaky faucet drip on a complete opposite side. The croc will still know exactly where the water's coming from, while you won't know where he is until you wake up at a Tupac concert. And when murkiness brings the water's visibility to
That was a good one. Wake up at a Tupac concert. I guess that's how you really know you going, right?
zero, they'll T-pose, spreading their legs and fingers to maximize an already broken ability. And speaking of fingers, their jaws are more sensitive than yours. A dinosaur beast breathing like a nose.
And see, this is I'm like, why? At any moment, if you wanted to, you could take your arm off. I don't care. That I'll never have that level of trust for something like that. No. I don't know why you're doing that. No.
Nose cable, let the croc tell it. That's the only demon that's slaying. And I don't know if I said this already, but let's not just walk past the fact that they can regenerate their tails like a starfish's arm. But the thing is, bears are berserker builds on steroids.
He said you had to block that out. That death roll is vicious. The YouTube guidelines was not. I'm like, good for blocking that out because I didn't want my reaction video getting blocked either.
They can regenerate their tails like a starfish's arm. But the thing is, bears are berserker builds on steroids. Cats are four-legged fur ninjas, and orcas are the most cerebral serial murkers on the planet. What is it about this semi-aquatic bioweapon that makes me confidently call them the scariest predator on Earth? Oh, simple. They're a predator's predator. Is there a single predator that generates more anxiety in other predators? Even cheetahs aren't fast enough to cheat death in the hit range of the reptile. And the king of the jungle gets a severe vibe check when they're out of their element. Not to mention, crocodiles will savage sharks to the point where many believe bull sharks actively avoid them. The crocodile is the worst kind of predator, one with zero prejudice, which makes them a massive threat to the most successful predator of all time. Here's the thing, when a lion, tiger, or bear becomes a man-eater, it usually means something's wrong.
Oh, he showed the clip of the person. We are the most successful predators of all times. And yeah, even we got to watch ourselves around them. They'll let you know. We're the most successful, but they are the most terrifying. Hands down.
Wrong, and they can't hunt their normal prey. Polar bears and Komodo dragons are famously less picky, but their home base is so remote that most people will never have to worry about them. Not only do crocodiles practice the worst kind of equality, they're basically everywhere. It's not that they actively go after humans, just that they genuinely don't care, which is why it's the crocodile that turns more humans into hashtags than any other large predator by a lot. And considering how and where they do
You walked right past that fish. I wouldn't even been that close. Oh man, people be over here really like, nah, I would have been zoomed in with my camera. I wouldn't have been actually standing there. That croc walked right over that fish like, nah, I see something bigger. I see something meatier. Come here.
that number could easily be higher. Even if you don't get killed by a crocodile, there's plenty of psychological damage that comes from being targeted by one. In 2003, 2 Australian teenagers spent 22 hours trapped in a tree while being stalked by a 13-foot crocodile below, and the entire night was the two keeping each other awake so they wouldn't fall in.
They are so lucky it was one of those that couldn't climb. Oh man, they are so lucky. We just went through a list of ones that could climb. They are so lucky that one couldn't climb. Traumatized, yes, but at least y'all are still alive.
Make it even worse, thanks to a flood, the waters kept rising, and the croc seemed to taunt the two by showing off the body of the third friend it had already caught. The two would be saved, but only by helicopter, because really, what else can you do in that situation?
For real.
Well, they didn't get it as bad as Ryan. The New Zealander also got stalked by a croc almost as big as the 20-foot kayak he was traveling in, and held captive on Governor Island, where the predator repeatedly made his presence known. 2 weeks with limited food and water, and a 20-foot undertaker that would chase him every time he tried to leave, and Ryan was hanging on by only a thread by the time he was rescued. That's the horror of being hunted by the greatest sit-and-wait predator of all time, cause time is their greatest resource. You'll never have more of it than they do. And
for real, he was like, yo, I can wait all day. You know what? I can wait all year. You know, I can wait 2 years, actually. Before I go looking for a different meal, I could wait 2 years. Maybe more. If I really, you know, try, maybe more. You're not going anywhere.
The fact that the big ones can go a year or more between meals and do their dirty work in murky water makes a man-eating crocodile the most difficult kind to deal with. Gustav was a Nile crocodile believed to be 20 feet long and well over 2,000 pounds. Believed because despite allegedly putting 300 people in past tense and being repeatedly shot, the serial killer croc was never officially caught. And despite reports of his death, because he was believed to have hatched in the 50s, there's a small but legitimate chance he's still out there, biding his time.
Wait, just because he was born in the 50s? We got a gator from the literal year 1900 who's still kicking. 50s don't mean nothing. We got a croc on record that's over 120 years old. Man, no, it means nothing. 50 years? Yeah, I believe that croc is still out there. Definitely.
Time just waiting for someone to wander close enough to become 50 Shades of Prey. You never see them until it's too late, and once you do, you might not see them for another year. It's a self-cloaking carnivorous convict that the Land Before Time left behind. This is the scariest predator on Earth. But of course, it's just an animal doing what comes naturally. They're not evil, just forged by millions of years of character development and mass extinctions. It's not hard to see why Steve Irwin wrote so hard for them, and I wouldn't be doing Khaki Jesus justice if I convinced you to hate them. Nah, with them it's respect, and a very healthy helping of fear, because moral of the story, always beware the old man in a game where men die young. And you always beware the landlord of Croc Country, because you'll never know when rent's due.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh man, another great video from good old Casual Geographic. Oh man, I enjoyed it. But that's the thing. Like, some of these instances, especially one with people, it's just, why? Why are you even putting yourself in these situations? Even with Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter. I was like, yeah, I love your show, but why do you be messing with the animals that can take you out? Why? Oh man, but I miss him though. He was great. All right, though. Y'all know what to do. Go in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one, and of course, let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you really feel like supporting this platform, consider joining our Patreon. All right. So till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'm out of here. All right, y'all. That was a fun one. So it's been about an hour now. I'm about ready to wrap it up unless we have any reaction requests. Are there anybody out there who has a video that they want me to check out before I close things out for the day? I'll give y'all guys like a moment while I check something over here. Just let me know if I see anything pop up in like the next minute. Sure. Otherwise, we're about to close this out. Follow me or I keep spamming you. You know, how about this? Oh wow, this person is really spamming me. Am I okay? You have been banned. And so have you. Understand, I have no problem banning anybody, all right? So don't play with me. Don't play with me. You'll be banned with the quickness. Okay, I don't see any requests coming in today. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, starting around 1 o'clock. As long as nothing gets in the way, I do have some errands to run. So if we start late, we start late, but aiming for 1 o'clock. All right, and then we'll give it a good hour, maybe two, if we get some random requests in. But otherwise, that's it for this one. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We got 2 reactions in, but there were some pretty long ones. You know, I'm not at the point of being able to react or do live streams like all day, like a lot of like full-time streamers. I'm still very much a part-time streamer, but I'm going to be streaming a lot more often. And I know I've been saying that, but we're really getting things on track. Um, so all right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. As always, take care of yourselves, and I am out of here. All right. So till next time.